Hey, welcome or welcome back to the channel. I'm Chantal. So today we are going to look at some of the favorite Airbnb, villas, hotels that I've stayed in whilst I've been in Bali so far. And I'm shamelessly starting with my villa, which is now on Airbnb. Look, I can't do this without showcasing my place. I'm not going to do a full tour of this because I have already done a video. I'll link it above so you can watch the video there, but I just wanted to mention it. It's a beautiful 2-bedroom villa that gives a sense of adventure, culture and travel. It's in an amazing location in Petitengit, which is literally, central to each street, a street where there's lots of restaurants, cafes, eateries, as well as bars. But it's also in this beautiful little estate, which is really secure. And once you're in there, you don't hear any noise. It has this beautiful rooftop, which is great for relaxing, for socializing, and I think it's an amazing place, if I do say so myself. But this video is not about me and my place. I'm gonna take you to some of the places that I really loved, and yeah, let's get into it. If you haven't done already, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press that notification bell for new video releases. Okay, so next up we have Villa Rukko. Villa Rukko is a private 1-bedroom pool villa located in Seminyak. It's actually not very far from my villa. The architecture of this building is stunning. I just love the doors and those big windows, has kind of a colonial look to it. And then throughout it's been decorated with polished concrete walls and a brick wall, just really modern, really clean. It's got a really nice modern kitchen, comes with an espresso machine, and it's been really tastefully done and very well maintained. It's a modern shop house inspired decor, and it features beautiful artwork and stunning photography. The black and white photography features faces of elderly Indonesian characters, and it just adds such a beautiful touch to this space. Upstairs, you can really see those beautiful, stunning shaped windows throughout. The shutters don't open, but there's still a fair bit of light from the top. And again, the concrete polished wall is throughout the whole space, and we have this beautiful gallery of black and white photos in the room. There's a cute little desk if you need to get some work done, and the bathroom's pretty snazzy too. A really beautiful shower, a rain shower, and a seat in case you want to sit down while you're having a shower. I really like this space actually. I thought that the owners have done really well in terms of the design. Not too much, but it's really interesting, and like I've said before, very, very well done. A lot of the Airbnbs that I've stayed at are in Ubud side of town, which is central Bali, and that's just because it has such a contrasting feel to the other side, to the south side. It's very naturistic, it's very foresty, lots of nature, jungle vibes, just a completely different vibe, and I just love going there for breaks. So this was a place that I really, really loved, but also took me outside of my comfort zones because it was right in the middle of this jungle, and it was open plan. So yes, imagine lots of creatures, lots of insects, all of that stuff, but it was absolutely stunning. The Jungle Luxe Villa has a kind of Scandinavian meets Tropicana style. It's completely open, which, you know, is beautiful, but also has its implications, let's say. But it's so stunning. You wake up every day to a beautiful space. You have this beautiful bathroom, an open bathroom. And you just wake up to the sounds of the jungle and the waterfall and nature. Absolutely stunning. It has a kind of rustic elegance about it, a little bit shabby but also sophisticated. There's lots of texture and organic materials with a natural colour palette, and it's a villa that can be enjoyed by anyone really with an appreciation of design and a desire to stay in a tropical abode. Upstairs, I really loved, I think mostly because it was covered and, you know, you could shut the windows and it was all enclosed, but also just the way that it was styled and decorated was absolutely stunning, like a mixture of antique and contemporary and Balinese pieces of furniture, but also just having that beautiful view out to the jungle. Waking up to this every day definitely felt like a blessing and the perfect way to start the day. I haven't stayed in a lot of hotels actually all the time I've been in Bali. It's been mainly villas, but this hotel, Amora, is one that I've stayed in a couple of times and I really love it. They've got different types of accommodation. I stayed in the urban suite because I'm bougie. No joke. It has its own pool, it's a really good size, and it's been styled in this kind of industrial style aesthetic with concrete walls and concrete floors, a really beautiful pink concrete sink, really stunning. And you have your own little pool in this suite, which is really nice, with a swing outside that I don't think I ever used it, or maybe just to take some photos. But yeah, it's a really nice hotel. It's got quite an unusual design. So the bathroom, well, the basin is kind of at the back of the bed. And then you've got the bathroom, which is part in, part out. So where that bath is sat, that bit is open. It has really good facilities, this hotel, for co-working. So if you need to do some work when you're away, I definitely recommend this place. Wuwei in Ubud, it's such a quirky little eclectic space. So interesting. It has, I think, 4 or 6 little individual villas. This is the one that we stayed in, and it had its own hot tub outside, which is a very unusual feature for Bali, but I really love, because even though it's hot, I really love to spend time in the hot tub and the bath. So you walk in and you have the bed here, and everything is just really cool, eclectic, clashing, quirky, but I really love it. They've done such a great job styling this room and making really use of every little corner. So you have the day bed over there, which is really nice for lounging, watching TV. I don't know who comes to Bali to watch TV, but hey. And they've also got a nice little kitchen, fully contained, that is really cute as well, on the other side of the bedroom. The bathroom is so cute. I love this bath, and look at this faucet. It's like a water fountain, and a nice little shower. Really beautifully done. Even if you're not a fan of that wall there, I think it's just a really unique style what they've done, and it feels really good actually. The communal areas of the garden are such a vibe too, set in this beautiful, lush, tropical gardens with a nice, big size pool. And then you have this area over here, which is where people have breakfast or can just chill. Very, very nice. They've got some really unusual furniture choices, which I think really just adds to the interest of the whole space. So yeah, I really enjoyed staying here. I was very inspired by all their different choices and the way that they put it together. Just something to look at, something interesting in every little corner. Ipan Jewa is on the outskirts of Ubud. It's a beautiful bamboo building that overlooks the most stunning, lush rice fields. Rice fields are my thing, the thing that I could sit and watch all day, instantly calm me. So this is the perfect environment for me. So the whole structure is bamboo. It's absolutely gorgeous. Has an outdoor bathroom area, a huge outdoor bath. I did use the bath. The thing with these baths is there's never enough hot water to fill them right up. But if you just want to, soak, mess about, it's cool. So you have to walk up these ridiculously steep stairs to get to the bedroom. Mission. But once you're up there, wow, it's such a cute little room with a little 4-poster bed, and the outlook is the rice field. You have this hammock balcony, which I swore I was not going to step on, but it was so tempting. Just look at this view. I've done a more in-depth video of this place, so I'll put the link in below if you want to check that out. Another place with die-for views is the Ubud Zen House, obviously in Ubud. It's set in, oh my gosh, I think the most beautiful backdrop I've ever seen, and it's showcased by these floor-to-ceiling windows that just transports you into this space and makes you feel like you're out there in the jungle. The actual decor of the space is really quite simple, like really good quality. Everything is really good quality, but it's quite simple, and it didn't need to be anything else because it's all about that view. This space again had a ridiculously sized, family-sized bath. I did try to use the bath, but that's the frustrating thing with these places. The water tanks just are not big enough to hold the water. The hot water needs to be able to have a hot bath. But still, you can get in there and mess about. And the bathroom was fine, nothing special, did the job. A lot of these windows can actually open up, so there's a mezzanine, and that allows you to open up, even though there's no railings, a bit dodgy. But then there's this space as well. It has a little ledge that you can sit at, which is really cute, overlooks this river, and you can see this beautiful little jungle across. So this is really one of my favourite places. I was just like in awe when I'd walk through the door, and I'd go back in a heartbeat. This is Villa Daerney. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but there you go. And it's a 3-bedroom villa in the heart of Karabakad, which is just outside of Canggu. It's stunning. It's a minimalist villa, so it's kind of a neutral off-white, but with the most beautiful timbers. Stunning. Really big, oversized rattan lighting just really accentuates this table and makes a feature out of the space. This has got to be my favorite piece of furniture throughout the whole villa. I just think it's perfect for this space here. I love this place. I feel like it was one of the first places that we stayed in Bali after the pandemic. So excited to be able to go back and visit, and then to land this place, which was just so tranquil and, you know, a really beautiful place to be. Was so nice. The lighthouse in Ubud is a 1-bedroom apartment above some shops on the most quirky little quaint street. It's kind of like a place for travel lovers because there's just bits of, you know, global design and inspiration everywhere. The balcony was such a great place to sit and people watch. I spent a little bit of time out there, and there was always so much going on this street. It was great. Definitely was one of the most interesting places I've stayed. Just things going on everywhere, but, you know, without it being too much. And by that I just mean angles. Like, it's such an unusual building, but they've really made the most out of all the little, you know, twists and turns and corners and angles that made it so interesting, actually. I love the pieces, the furniture pieces, like I said, really global influence, but it all came together really well. The bathroom was unique, let's just say that. It's like in the middle of the apartment, so you can see the bathroom from the living room and the bedroom, and it has windows, so there's no privacy. The toilet isn't in there though, thankfully. And it also has an open roof, so yeah, when it's raining, which it does a lot in Ubud, you're gonna get soaked. But I guess you're in the bathroom, you're in the shower, so what does it matter? Alright, well, that's about it. I hope that you have enjoyed the selection of hotels and villas that I presented today. These are some of the favourite ones that I've been to so far. But I will do more of these because I do like to spend time and checking out Airbnbs on a regular basis. Alright, so let me know what you think in the comments. Is there any that are particularly interesting? And let me know. And until next time, catch you soon.